Our scene is Madison Square Garden in New York for the $1 million Virginia Slims Championships. Coming up, the crowning moment of the tournament, the singles championship, as number 1 seed Steffi Graf goes head-to-head with number 2 seed Martina Navratilova. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bruce Beck. Welcome to Day 7 of the Virginia Slims Championships. This is it, the deciding match of the tournament, the final match of the year, and yes, the end of the decade in women's tennis. And isn't it fitting that we have the 2 players here today that have been the most dominant during the 80s? Martina Navratilova, who ruled the roost from 1982 to 1986, and Steffi Graf, who has been nearly invincible since she became number 1 in August of 1987. Let's detail the dominance. Martina Navratilova, on the tour for 15 years, 146 career titles, 17 Grand Slam singles titles, which include 8 Wimbledon championships, almost $15 million in prize money. Steffi Graf, her achievements over the past 3 years are mind-boggling. 35 singles titles, 2 losses in '87, 3 losses in '88, 2 in 1989. 8 Grand Slam singles titles, equally divided among the Australian, the French, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. So what we have today is the past, the present, and the future of women's tennis. For a close-up look at our match between Steffi Graf and Martina Navratilova, a spectacular, if you will, Bud Collins and Joanne Russell.
Right you are, Bruce. Bud Collins along with Joanne Russell. Joanne, you've heard of the Phantom of the Opera. Today we're in here with the Empress of the Garden, none other than Martina Navratilova. She's won this championship 7 times. She's nearly invincible in this building, but the last 2 years, she lost in the second round to Sabatini and Sukova. Is she a better player now, or was she just unlucky then?
I think she's definitely a better player. Earlier this year at the Family Circle Club, she had a crisis. She lost to Zvereva there, and in a very poor match. She decided that she needed to rethink what she was doing out here. Craig Carden, her coach, got Billie Jean King to come into their camp, and she's really been inspirational and worked on the technical as well as mental side of Martina's game.
Well, we know that Martina Navratilova loves to live at the net. How else would she have won 8 Wimbledons? But there's a little bit of difference in her net play this year, Joanne.
It certainly is. Besides the fact that she's serving and volleying so well, Billie Jean has worked on her forehand volley a lot. She's serving and staying back and taking her time. She's playing a lot more players. This was the other night against Sanchez. She stays back and takes her time and picks the right ball to come in on. She just doesn't rush in on anything. She waits for the short ball, she comes in, and then she makes the good volley, which she'll have to do today against Graf.
And she's been making that first volley too. But the thing that has really entranced us all week long, Steffi Graf came in with an ankle injury, no sign of it, no complaint of it, faster than ever, and she's beginning to go to the net.
Oh, she definitely is. 2 years ago, people kept saying, why doesn't Steffi Graf come to the net? She's got a great slice backhand. Well, she says, I do everything at my own pace. Well, her pace took 2 years, and now she's working on that slice backhand. She's even going in on her forehand. Before, she never made a move on the forehand. She'd just boom and it'd be a winner. Now she takes the ball early. She comes in, and this is a very natural play for a net player. Moving in to take the ball early, she's right up next to the net when she finishes.
And sometimes she chips and charges with the first serve. Well, this is a wondrous occasion. The Virginia Slims Championships doesn't seem so long ago that the driving force Gladys Heldman got a hold of Joe Coleman, the head of Philip Morris. He was the angel for Virginia Slims, and Billie Jean King did the preaching and playing. She was Mother Freedom, and it's all led to this, a day in the garden to decide who is the Virginia Slims champion. Bruce?
Thanks, Bud. And joining us once again, the executive editor of World Tennis Magazine, Steve Flink. Steve, what is Steffi Graf's battle plan for today?
Well, Bruce, I think first and foremost, Steffi has to keep her returns low under Martina's forehand volley when she has the choice. Then I think she's got to use the lob well off the backhand, which she certainly did in the U.S. Open against Martina. And finally, when she gets the short ball on her backhand, chip and go in down the line under Martina's backhand side.
If Martina's going to win this tournament, what does she have to do to be successful?
Well, Bruce, I think first she has to win that opening set. If she gets behind and Steffi wins that set, I can't see her coming back to win in 4 or 5 sets from that position. Secondly, she's got to use that slice serve adroitly in the ad court, consistently spinning it wide to Steffi's backhand to open up the court for the backhand volley. And finally, the first volley all around off both sides, it's got to be stupendous today because Graf will put her under increasing pressure as the match goes on.
Now, this tournament has gone according to script. 14 singles matches, no upset, which leads us to Flink's forecast. Will there be an upset today?
Well, Bruce, no, I do not think so. I think Steffi Graf will win the match 6-4, 7-5, 6-3.
Steffi Graf, Martina Navratilova, number 1 in the world against number 2 in the world. Championship of the Virginia Slims in Madison Square Garden. We'll come back with all the action in just a moment.
Two players left, all right. Steffi and Martina. Martina, once the leading lady, now in supporting roles, but still dangerous. And how popular she is in this building at 33rd and 8th, Madison Square Garden. She's just been a winner every year, except 2 finals, losing to Sylvia Hanukkah and Tracy Austin. And last 2 years, of course, Joanne and Steve, a slump when people said it's all over for Martina. She lost to Sabatini 2 years ago. That was when, you remember, she felt that she was carrying on a people's campaign. In other words, Steffi Graf was entrenched at number 1 in the rankings, but Martina felt, and I agreed, that if she won the Wimbledon and the U.S. Open after all over Steffi, which she did do, if she could win the Virginia Slims, she could have a claim to number 1. Wouldn't you have agreed then?
Yes.
In the people's hearts, not on the computer.
You're right.
Martina Navratilova, pro since 1973. Graf, look at that record. 2 losses out of 87. Her 88th match. She's won 13 tournaments out of the 15 previous. Her coach, Pavel Slozil, was saying today at breakfast at the UN Plaza, he said, if somebody had told me I would ever coach a player who could win 13 tournaments in a year and maybe 14th today, he said, I would have just said that's impossible. Nobody will do that anymore in pro tennis. But here it is. And Martina hasn't done badly. She's won 8 tournaments this year, lifting her career total to 146, which is only 11 behind the record held by Chris Evert. Introduction for Steffi Graf.
Last year she made history by winning the Golden Slam, Grand Slam and Olympic gold. She took over the #1 spot on the Virginia Slims rankings in August of 1987. She is the top-seeded player in the Virginia Slims Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, the world's top player from Ruhr, West Germany, Steffi Graf.
The gentleman who just came up to Steffi Graf, Al Marchfeld, who's the man for all reasons at the Garden, has been here for years, and he was just checking to make sure she had everything she wanted. Jane Tabor, with her back to us, flipping the coin. She will umpire. Martina wins the toss. Will she receive or take the wind?
Well, I would think she would want to serve first. But you never know.
Well, we'll find out.
She looks good. She's warmed up. You know, she doesn't look stiff, that's for sure. I mean, you know, if she was telling me the truth about the injuries that she had.
Wearing her own stylized clothing designed by Frances Hill and Judy Nelson. And I guess it's going to go into production. So Martina Navratilova, 7 times champion, lost 2 finals here in the Garden. So Sylvia Hanicke and Tracy Austin. Excuse me, it was Tracy Austin, wasn't it, Steve?
Yes,
I'm right. My gosh, I'm right once in a while. She won her first Virginia Slims Championship in 1978 when it was played in Oakland, beating Yvonne Goolagong in the final. And this is her 11th final. So she has been around in the Garden. We spoke of her in the opening being the Empress of the Garden. She is 39-4 in singles.
And Martina Navratilova is 5'7½", 145 pounds. And if you look at her on the court, no one would ever think she's 145 pounds. She has very little body fat and is all muscle.
Marvelous Martina. And let's go across the net to the Graf, who has been grief for her colleagues. Steffi out of Brühl. And extraordinary that she and Boris Becker grew up within miles of one another.
It really is extraordinary.
And now they're the best players in the game.
I've seen a lot of pictures where they were in the same junior clinic.
Yeah. And Boris said after they both won Wimbledon, he said, wow, this will be something to tell our grandchildren. There it is. Martina with a bare edge. They have played 5 times over the last 2 years since Steffi Graf took over the #1 ranking from Martina in July of 1987. Only 5 times since then, and Steffi has won the U.S. Open, Wimbledon, and another Wimbledon, 3 of the 5. So they're taking their last warm-up swings, and they'll be ready to go just about when we return to the Garden. Warm-up serves. She is riding a winning streak. 40 straight matches since losing the French Open final to Arantxa Sanchez. And Martina has a lesser streak, but not bad. 18 straight matches since losing the U.S. Open final to Graf. And Graf, we've just seen her grow in every facet of the game before our eyes this season. She seems faster. She's doing more things with the ball. She's a #1 who wants to improve to 1+.
Well, she's a player who is taking her time on all facets of the game, but she wants to be known that way. She really doesn't want to be known as a player with just a big forehand who could run well. Now she's adding serve and volley. She's adding chip and come into the net. She's doing a lot of different things that people are going to look at her game and say, she's an all-court player. She can stay back and rally. She can come in. She can do more things than ever.
And an any-court player. After winning 2 Wimbledon, she was a little worried about grass at first. And so playing the Czechoslovak, Jana Novotná, another Czechoslovak, the 2 doubles players, Helena Sukova, and then yesterday, a slip in the second set, or was it Sabatini?
I think it was Sabatini. What do you think, Steve?
Sabatini and a slip, because I think Steffi, when she went up the break the second time to go 3-1, probably should have been able to run the set out. But Sabatini in the latter stages of the set played some excellent tennis.
And then Graf won the last 6 games of the match. Now Martina, the grande dame of this event, had to do a lot of baby splitting. All teenagers, Mary Jo Fernandez, Monica Seles, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. And she had that wonderful match with Seles, which is one of the great matches in the history of this event. 7-5 in the third. The umpire, Jane Tabor. English woman, fine umpire, one of the few women ever to sit in the high chair center court Wimbledon. The new boss at Wimbledon, John Curry, and the secretary, Chris Gorringe, are in the crowd today, and I hope they feel that more women should get center court jobs in officiating, because there are many deserving. Here we go. Martina elected to serve, the 7-time champion, hoping that there's one more within her. And remember, best of 5 sets, unique in women's tennis.
kind of unusual.
Bounded back.
Ball came over the net, and then Steffi Graf was there, but it was just, she could not touch the ball before it went back over the net on Martina's side.
She was surprised. And I'm sure she must realize that that's the one occasion on which you may reach over the net.
She did, but she was very close to the net, and I think if she moved any further,
she would have touched the net.
She would have touched that pole that runs on the bottom of the net, that anchors the net. Because this is a portable net, they have to use some other way to keep it tight.
30-15.
Steffi Graf has already tried a couple of different things here. She's tried to chip and come in. She made an error, but that doesn't bother her. But Martina's looking at a lot of different things when she's serving over there.
And Martina has the opening game. Steffi Graf will serve when we return to the Garden. Number 1 against number 2. First serve hit the service line, and she puts away her first forehand attempt in a serving game.
Steffi Graf, pretty no-nonsense, steps right up to the line, is ready to serve.
Long.
But that was a nice play, though, because
Sure.
Steffi usually goes for the big passing shot down the line, or she goes for a slice. And right now, she's already thrown another thing Martina has to watch for, the lob.
Ace. First of the day.
Joanne, at the U.S. Open, I thought Steffi used that lob very, very well. She may have learned something that match.
One game all.
That was a heck of a second serve by Graf. She really went for that ball. There's a big difference in the second serves of Graf and Sabatini. Sabatini sort of sits up there like a little marshmallow, waiting, begging to be slugged. Whereas Graf's second serve is as hard as a lot of players' first serves.
Steffi got onto that backhand return so early, off the first serve. Was stepped in, knifed it away.
Well, that's what you've got to do against a left-hander. They've got that opposite spin, and Martina also has the big kick serve. You cannot let the ball play you playing a left-hander. You have to go after it.
First, Navratilova's low mark, I guess you'd put it. Double faults 10 against Salish, but it didn't cost her the match.
big break for Martina to be love 30 down and get an unforced error from Graf as she stays back on the second serve.
Now the hook working as it did in the early stages at Flushing Meadow. And Martina built up that 6-3, 4-3 lead with a break of serve.
Martina has to be a lot more picky when she comes to net against Steffi Graf. She just can't toss it in and run in.
2 double faults in the game, and it takes her to break point. Michael Fortescue-Lou catches that net. Ball for a let.
Let's see where Graf stands on the return of serve and see if she jumps on this ball.
The runaround, and the first break of serve goes to Steffi Graf, lying in wait for Martina's serve.
Second serve gets in there and run around it.
2-1 for Graf.
Steffi serving a lot to Martina's forehand with success early in the match.
Well, she's not really afraid of Martina's forehand. I don't think she's afraid of anything.
Got it.
She had absolutely no margin for error on that passing shot, Joanne, and still made it off the forehand down the line.
Well, what Graf does is she adjusts the swing of her forehand. Instead of taking a big backswing, she takes a little one, and then boom, down the line.
30 love. Strike.
Martina's always had an excellent underrated backhand underspin lob, which we saw to perfection there. Took the net away from Steffi.
I just want to see Steffi get that between the legs shot. Graf manages to pick the right shot at the right time. Martina forced her with that approach shot, and Graf gets the slice on it. It's short and bounces in front of Martina.
For Graf. A very inventive play by Graf. And she was out of position. There was not much she could do. So she went for the drop shot cross court. It almost worked. Ah, the Whistlers are here. The double-breasted Gripebirds come to New York.
And see where Steffi Graf's position is? She is out of the doubles line and in to the light blue around the court, ready to run around that ball.
court, she'll take it. There in the middle of your screen, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. She was the last of the rookies. 6 players came in here who had never played the Virginia Slims Championships but had qualified for their fine seasons. Ace, number 1. And Sanchez Vicario was a semifinalist, the last of the 6. Second ball ace, 2 in the game. Graf still has a service break lead. It'll be 3-2 when we return to the Garden. Sitting on a 3-2 lead with a service break. It's early. It's a best-of-5 set match.
Steffi has won 7 out of 8 points on her first serve thus far. Martina not making a play on it.
When Steffi first started out, people thought her toss was way too high, but she uses it well. It's funny how people are critical. They look at Graf's game. This was a few years ago. Oh, her toss is too high. She come in the net more. She just says, I'm doing it my own way. I'm taking my own time. It's in.
Net court, and so they're even on those dribblers.
And Steffi probably deserved to win the point anyway, considering that Martina's return was a complete mishit, which somehow stayed in the court.
And Steffi Graf is getting more and more comfortable. She cuts the ball off, and she gets the lucky bounce on the net.
30-15.
Wow, what an overhead from the baseline.
Very fine lob, though.
That was a fine lob out of a defensive position. Martina made a great shot to get to the net.
Four games to 2 for Steffi Graf, who last year completed a Grand Slam. That's winning the 4 majors: Australia, France, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Championship, all within the same year. Graf in '88. The first to do it, Don Budge, 50 years before. Maureen Connolly did it in 1953. Rod Laver twice. And Margaret Court.
And just think about it, if Steffi would have held serve when she served for the match against Sanchez at the French this year, she would have 2 slams in a row.
Consecutive slams. That's how close things can be. She was 4 points from consecutive slams. And there is the woman who stopped it. The kid. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, 17. She'll be 18 on the 18th of December. Barcelona. I'm going to send her a card, Joanne, just to address it to Barcelona. It'll get there. And umpire Tabor, repeating what every umpire must say. It surprises me, really, to tennis crowds. No flash photos. People ought to know that by now.
Yeah, I am surprised, especially they're so far away. I think that flash is really going to help. Whoa, a forehand by Navratilova.
She used the angle that Steffi gave her with that cross-court backhand approach shot, Joanne, and rolled it perfectly.
She did. Graf, though, she is working on this net. She comes in down the middle, which is not a bad play, deep But Navratilova gets the forehand.
Martina with a service winner to the backhand has captured the game. It is 4-3 for Steffi Graf. One break of serve separates them. Martina lost hers. Third game, hindering her cause with 2 double faults.
Graf was out here at 10 o'clock this morning practicing with Pavel Schlosel. She was hitting the ball really well and working as hard as if there were no match today.
And for the first time, you can see tape on her left ankle. Yeah, the ankle has been taped throughout the tournament, but a low tape job was used.
It's a great lob.
Oh!
And Graf runs over, makes the great lob, and she comes in right away. But watch Martina Navratilova. This is her specialty.
Ooh.
Back to us, and she turns and makes the hit. Great timing.
15 all. Back row, blonde, Pavel Schlosel, the Czechoslovak Davis Cupper in his day, now the coach of Steffi Graf, and a very good one. Graf's ankle was swollen after the Sukova match. There was some concern, but now it's at its best since the accident. She heard it practicing with Schlosel. 5 games to 3.
And here's where Graf usually raises her game. Somehow she puts herself into an extra gear. When she wants that break, she usually can get it.
Martina's held serve at love the last 2 times, though. She's been getting a little tougher on serve.
Whoa, did Graf wind up on that forehand?
Woo! Steam from Steffi.
And on this sequence of shots, Martina uses, this is the forehand volley that Billie Jean's worked on. She hits it perfectly, but the speed of Graf and the racket head speed of Graf gets it by her.
15 all. Ace number 3.
And that's been the spot wide to Steffi's forehand in the deuce court. Steffi's going to basically give her that one. She's looking for the serve to the backhand on that side.
Well, Steve, if I were Steffi Graf, I would give it to her too, because that's the hardest serve for a left-hander to serve, is that on the deuce side, wide to the forehand. Oh, what a get!
Long from 40-15 to deuce.
And that's what I mean. Although Martina's held her serve at love, it doesn't matter. When Steffi wants the game, it's something that kicks in. A little extra concentration, a little extra oomph on a shot.
Well, she'd like to start serving the second set, so she'd love to break here.
And what set that up was a great volley by Navratilova. It was so deep with a lot of penetration on it.
That one really stopped Martina in her tracks. Couldn't have been a deeper or a better serve. And she still gets beaten by a clean winner off the backhand from
Well, what
Steffi.
Graf does, she moves in there and she just takes that little short backswing and it's all power.
Second deuce. Ace number 4. To get away with the game.
You know, Steffi's not going to change her position on this side of the court, which means is she's still going to give Martina that serve. If Martina can hit it that perfectly, hey, who cares? You just say, hey, good shot, and walk to the next side.
That's an astonishing point all around, because surely Steffi had her pass when she had no business passing her, and surely Martina has no business making this volley, and look at her lunge.
Yeah, and did you see Graf's feet on that ball? And Martina makes the lunge.
Add in for a third time. And deuce for a fourth.
And Martina's supposedly picking on the weaker side of Steffi Graf, the backhand.
She's been hitting with great confidence off that side today, Joe, and the topspin backhand looking better than it has all week.
Topspin, slice, flat. She's doing it all.
Martina finally moves that serve over in the deuce court, wisely so, to provoke that error off the backhand.
So she had to ace her 3 times in the game to get the game. It's Graf to serve for the set at 5-4. Graf was ready much sooner than Navratilova. And I think with her suspect ankle, she wants to stay on her feet. She doesn't want to sit down. She wants to keep moving. And she's serving for the set.
If Martina Navratilova has a slight groin pull, I wouldn't sit down too long in the changeover either, because it could affect her also.
So a slight opening for Navratilova, trying to keep this set going past the 10th game.
And you see Martina has moved over to the center of the court.
Net court, and she likes it. Martina has not held a break point, and this is the best she's done against the Graf serve. 2 points. Fault called by Bill Thompson. Oh, what a second ball.
I think it's the best second serve she's hit the entire set. So deep with all that slice.
Navratilova's moved over to the center of the service box. And Martina was there, but just the pace of Graf's forehand, she couldn't handle it at the net.
30 all. Set point.
Navratilova wants this on her forehand if she can get it. Great approach shot because Graf slid it in there in the down the middle.
So a set point kicked aside by Martina. Set point 2.
Graf only 2 for 7 on first serves in this game. That has been the primary problem.
But it doesn't seem to bother Steffi. No first serves, I'll do something else.
Ooh! And the first set goes to the West German Wunderkind.
And Martina makes the great stab on the return. Graf goes back behind her, but look at the forehand. But no, Graf is there for the volley winner. And this is the new Steffi Graf. She's right there, and she moves forward. That's the key to being a good net player. Don't let the ball play you. Move in there and take it.
One set gone. It's best of 5. .33 minutes. It's long. The one break of serve, third game.
And it will be all that much tougher today in best of 5 sets. Their first best of 5 set match. Second, excuse me. They played here in the final 3 years ago. Martina won that in 3 straight sets. The reason I say it might be tougher for Martina is in a long best of 5 set match, giving away 13 years in age and having had a cold recently and a possible groin pull, I think could be a tough thing for her to overcome.
Oh, yes.
Boy.
Graf just jumps on that. Once she sees the ball coming a little bit slower, Graf has excellent eyesight. She picks the ball up quicker than most players. And I mean that in terms of depth perception, seeing the ball, the closer it gets to you, the earlier you pick it up. That's an advantage. And she really recognizes where the ball is quickly, and she makes a decision and goes for it.
Break points right away. Second set.
Steffi trying not to let that slice get away from her, to take it as early as she can, but that was just too good a serve from Martina in the ad court.
Second serve coming up. Bill Thompson calls fault. And the whistlers are out. You wondered where the birds went? Not to Florida, to Madison Square Garden.
I suspect that Steffi thought Martina might be coming in behind that serve. Kicked up high to her forehand, and she nets it.
Kicked up high and also didn't have a lot of pace on it. Nice change-up. Just muscled that. That was not a timing shot. She was over there, but you could see her muscling. Now watch her forehand. This is key. She gets it back, but she muscles that. She pulls it over the top, and it drops right in.
Second deuce. It's good.
Graf back at the baseline.
As you said, Joanne, Graf back at the baseline. She got hurt earlier when she came in behind that same cross-court backhand underspin lob when Martina responded with that beautiful cross-court forehand of her own, so it made her hesitant.
Yeah, but now, hey, she's even, 1-1. Next ball, she'll probably come in on.
I think you're right.
I mean, she'll realize you can't hit that perfect a shot every time.
The runaround again.
And as another instance, Martina knew she was going to play that shot. I don't think there's any doubt in her mind. Inside out forehand, let me get over there. She just wasn't quick enough. It's just too good a shot.
It is. Graf's over there, but you know what? You have to cover both sides because from that angle she pounds it down the line or goes cross court.
And here's the break point.
And so, Steve, if you commit too early or you hedge your bets against Steffi Graf, she kills you with the other shot.
You're right. I just think she read it in that instance. But look at this topspin backhand down the line pass from Steffi. She's playing that shot today as well as I've ever seen her.
Go. And so opening with a break of serve. Steffi Graf is ahead 6-4, 1-love, and she'll be serving when the match resumes. But let us now go to Bruce Beck.
Thank you, Bud. Nancy Wong of General Foods International Coffee will present a check to the Literacy Volunteers of America. Accepting on behalf of the organization is Jonathan McGallop, the Director of Development. Nancy?
On behalf of General Foods International Coffees, I would like to present a check for $6,200 to Literacy Volunteers of America. We hope that this donation will help to fund the strong programs that your organization has created to combat illiteracy across the United States. Thank you for your great work.
Thank you, Nancy. On behalf of the 40,000 learners, 40,000 volunteers, our board of directors, I'm happy to accept this check from International Coffees General Foods on behalf of the organization. This check will go a long way to helping some of the 27 million adults in this country who can't read and write.
The $6,200 represents 62 aces that were served during the week, $100 per ace. Leading the way in the aces, Martina Navratilova with 14 and Steffi Graf with 11. So thanks to all the players as well. Let's go back upstairs.
Thanks, Bruce. And John Gibbs' work for the first set, our statisticians.
Now, Bud, take a look at that 10% discrepancy in the first serve percentage, but keep in mind that Steffi has won 13 out of 15 points, 87% on her first serve. Martina 17 of 29 on first serve for only 59%, so it's worth it to Steffi to have the lower percentage.
The closest Martina has come is deuce, the last game of the first set. The closest to breaking.
Until then, she'd only won 5 points in Steffi's first 4 service games.
Photographer's row there. They're pretty close. Ed Goldman, Carol Newsom.
Steffi may have her ankle taped a little bit higher, but she still is moving very well today.
I think you could tape her up like the Mummy's Curse and she'd still be zooming.
You know, Martina did tell me she had a slight groin pull, and she really didn't run as hard last night. But you said she had her own osteopath here, so she probably had a couple of adjustments. By Steffi Graf.
And beautiful late charge, recognizing that her drive into the corner had set it up beautifully, Joanne.
It really did, and here's the shot you were talking about. She stays back, then realizes she has Martina at a disadvantage. She comes in and she hits the great angle.
That is nice. 30-15.
Martina's still moving over to the center of the, for the return. She wants to take it on a forehand.
She could not get enough stick on the ball there. It just sat up, gave Steffi all day to line up the forehand.
You know, when Martina was really hot, only losing one match in the year, she used to come in on anything. She could hit it, bunt it over, and people would miss because she had psyched them out so bad.
But she doesn't have a forehand chip reproach, does she?
No.
Not many players do. That's long. Drop shot.
Oh, Steffi didn't like that call.
Ted Tinling, Ina Broman of Virginia Slims, and in the cat, Andy Mill, former Olympic skier, now an Olympic husband. Rosie Casals. For those of you just joining us, we had a match before this. 40-30 for Graf.
Martina taking advantage again of a loose service game from Steffi. 1 out of 6 first serves thus far in the game.
But Navratilova, what she did was she took advantage of that approach shot. She came in and Steffi had to guess which way she was going, and she picked the wrong way.
One for 7 now, huh?
Absolutely. Getting her into trouble. She nearly was broken last time.
And here's Martina's first break point after 44 minutes. Dorothy Lowitz gave the good signal at first, then called fault. So she changed her mind, and that's her prerogative. A good lines person should change her mind if she feels she was wrong with the original call. So that's 1 for 8 first serves for Graf.
Right, a good linesman, but it still bothers the server.
Sure. And so Martina has broken through. And they're even in the second set.
And Martina, she comes into the net and she takes advantage of it. And she's saying, yeah, break.
Graf led 40-15 in that game. But she never did get in. She'd only gotten 1 first serve in thus far. She missed her last 5 in the game. And Martina took complete advantage of it.
1 game all. Second set, Graf has the first set.
That ball almost rolled under Steffi's ankle.
Many of our stations joined us at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, and we had a very nice prior match. Billie Jean King returning to the court to play with Chanda Rubin, 13-year-old from Lafayette, Louisiana, very bright, against Kim Cassara, 16, from Hendersonville, North Carolina, and Rosie Casals, and they had some fun out there. Billie Jean King, who's the commissioner of Domino Pizza Team Tennis League, has lost over 50 pounds. Boy, she looked great.
Martina is playing perfectly at the net. She comes in, makes her split step. She delicately gets a half volley, and she's right there on top of the net for the second volley.
40-15.
Every volley has got to count against Graf. It's got to be purposeful, because if you just float it over there, forget it. You're dead.
So a flat period for Graf, and Navratilova taking advantage. 2-1 for Martina. Graf, always ready, out to the line first. Her prerogative, just as it is Martina's prerogative, to come out a little more slowly. They have 90 seconds between games on the odd game, and neither one has come close to using the 90 seconds. Graf leading in the match, 6-4-1-2. And Bud Collins with Joanne Russell and Steve Flink. Bruce Beck.
This play is really something new by Navratilova. She hasn't used it an awful lot against Steffi. They haven't played too much. But the idea of Navratilova moving to the center of the box, where she does here, instead of coming in like she has the last couple, she waits. But look at that approach. It's way too short, and Steffi passes her easily. The idea is give Graf something different to look at when she serves. Don't stand in the same place every time.
Dirty love.
Woo!
Well, we're just checking to see how long between points, and it's not much. And Graf. Speedy and effective, 2 all.
Well, in that game, she put in 3 out of 4 first serves, and it allowed her to set up the point the way she wanted and be the aggressor. She'd only made 4 out of 16 in the previous 2 service games when she struggled so hard.
And then she struggled on her serve, then she rushed the next game, and I think she's going to play a great game here. Because, you know, you get that little confidence back.
Exactly.
When you serve easily, then you go up to the line, and you're totally relaxed. Woo!
Took Steffi 12 seconds to get a point going, and it's going to be just the same.
But isn't it a delight to see it when we watch Yvonne Lendl and Boris Becker take 29.9 seconds every point?
Oh,
Wow.
the men should be shot. They act like they're on a hunger strike or something. The rule should be 15 seconds, I think.
I agree.
Well, the people of the Masters is coming into the Garden a week from Tuesday, and people can sit around and do their knitting while Yvonne decides whether or not to play a point.
Double fault.
So that's 3.
Martina 2 more aces than doubles. Steffi with 1 ace, but no doubles.
Net cord. Look at that run around. But it takes Steffi out of the play.
It really did take her out of the play. Martina was on top of the net.
So Martina has a 3-2 lead, but they are on serve, and Steffi will try to catch up. The Virginia Slims Tennis Championships are brought to you in part by General Foods International Coffees, by Evian, natural spring water, and by Steel Magnolias from TriStar Pictures Incorporated. Started Friday, November 17th at a theater near you.
Close call back there, but it was out, bud. 15 love.
No, I trust these lines people. They've been doing a good job.
They really have.
Ace 2 for Graf.
Steffi has won 20 of 22 points, 91% when she's gotten her first serve in complete command.
Whoa, Martina looked like a Rancho Sanchez down there. Took that ball up the line. Well, Martina is taking these slices of Steffi and looping it back, but on the last one where Steffi hits the topspin, she takes it early and bangs it down the line.
40-15. And game.
And Bud, I think Martina is laboring a little bit back there. I think the groin pull or the hamstring pull is bothering her more than she lets on, because that last ball, she didn't really tear after it. You know, she kind of realized, okay, maybe I won't get this.
It's not bothering her more than Stephanie Maria Graf, however.
No. But it's only when she has to run wide. So I think Navratilova is saying, I better make every volley count.
Net cord, and Steffi gets that one. Very loose net, which is often the case with these indoor portable setups.
Well, it's often the case, but this net is not bad. They use this at every Virginia Slims tournament, and it's a pretty good setup.
The most famous net cord here, struck by Boris Becker on the last point of a tiebreaker, 5th set to beat Ivan Lendl in the Masters last year.
Yes.
Graf.
Finally, Graf gets the one she wants. She has not handled this point very well. She's been having trouble in the deuce side, but this time she gets around it and hits it for a winner. Navratilova handled the pace so well on that.
That's too good, says Martina. She acknowledged the greatness of that chip backhand return down the sideline.
You know, I don't really think Steffi has to worry too much about running around and hitting a forehand. That little chip return has worked so well from both sides.
So here's Steffi's chance. Break the point. And she saves it.
Martina walking very slowly in between points, taking her time. Actually, that's a good play, whether she has an injury or not. Just slow Steffi down.
Navratilova handled that so well because the volley was low and short, and she couldn't possibly pass from that position.
No, it actually
Look
was
what she
a
did.
good volley by Graf here, but she holds it until the very last second, then slices under it and lifts it up for the lob. Graf was right there on the net waiting for the volley.
Advantage in.
That's a nice 1-2 punch there. The chip return, then followed up by the big drive with topspin.
Well, you know what Selish did against Martina? She went back behind Martina all the time, and Steffi does that a lot too. Always going back behind because Martina runs well to the open court.
She's got it, but long.
Martina maneuvered to play a backhand volley there on the other side of the court. Looked like she had time to make it, but she caught the tape.
Third deuce. Seventh game, second set. Graf leads 6-4, 3-all deuce. Fault called by Suki Greer.
Graf has moved over, giving Martina a different look. And Graf's doing a lot of different things here. Martina plays behind her. She just chips it back. She stays in the point. But here she just flicks her wrist and powers it by Navratilova.
Deuce for a fourth time.
Martina can't believe she let that slip. She was right there on top of the net.
Martina's had 3 game points. The old critical seventh game. Net court. That is painful.
Martina had measured that net court return so well and chipped that backhand deep as she wanted. I thought it was a very makeable volley.
And that's the forehand that Billie Jean King said yesterday that they have worked on it and really stressed technique because you need that against Graf.
Point.
Graf daring her to serve it to her backhand.
Got a little over anxious. Steffi had played a good deep chip return, had just the forehand she wanted.
Steffi Graf doing a lot of things well today. She gets forced by the serve, but look at here, she's right there. And what she does is she gets in position so early, she has a lot of choices she can make.
Oh, it's just wide. Graf was there.
And any other player, that's a winner. That volley by Martina
The
is...
point was over as soon as she
Look at
volleyed it.
Martina's face. She's going to go, oh, my Lord.
6 deuces.
That was Martina's 60th trip up to the net. She's won 28 points, still lingering underneath the 50% mark.
So Martina clings to her slender lead. No breaks of serve since the second game, 4-3. Behind the gleaming dome of Ted Tinling is Chris America. Chris Evert. Such a distinguished, brilliant, consummately professional career. Teddy, would you duck down so we could see Chris? She won the first Virginia Slims Championship in 1972 as a 17-year-old. Ace for Graf, that's 3. Chris bowed out helping the United States along with Martina. Pam Shriver, Zena Garrison win the Federation Cup, the World Women's Team Championship, Tokyo in October. Chris was undefeated in her 5 singles matches. Nice way to go out playing for her country.
Graf actually got a nice little kick on that serve, and Martina she just caught it at the end of her racket. They didn't get any stick on the ball.
Steffi, more than twice as many singing winners.
41. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a courtesy to both players, no flashlight photography. Thank you.
Flash cameras reported to the umpire, Jane Tabor, who asked spectators to desist. Nope. 4 games all. It's a best-of-5 set final. No women's match has gone 5 sets since 1901. And Bessie Moore beat Myrtle McAteer in the U.S. final, 6-2 in the 5th. The women used to play best-of-5.
I guess old Bessie isn't around to hear this.
No, Bessie's gone. She's in the Hall of Fame. Women played best-of-5 set finals for 9 years. That was the last one. That's long.
Martina taking her time. 13, 14, 15. It's a service clock here. How long it takes Martina to get ready to serve. This is the longest she's taken for one serve.
Ace. That's 6. Long. And Martina has a 5-4 lead. They are on serve. Set game will face Steffi when we return. Steffi Graf, a set game against her at 4-5. She won the first set 6-4. She's lost 1 set in the tournament to Gabriela Sabatini yesterday, 7-5. No.
You definitely can't stand and watch your shot against Steffi Graf.
Once again, no flashlight photography. Thank you.
Well, we've got a lot of fireflies out here, don't we? People wanting to snap pictures. As you say, what in the world can they get with it?
You know, but
Joanne.
Martina's taking a long time walking over to return serve. That's a good play against Steffi.
You've got to try to slow her down. The chipped lob is good. So Martina is 2 points from set. At 30 all. Ace! No,
Oh, wow.
the hand goes up. I thought it was an ace.
So did I, Bud.
Oh, you too.
But I hate to agree with you, but it was an ace too.
All right, well, it's just a fault.
Well, Steffi's also had a couple of tough breaks on that center service line.
And here it is. Oh man, that looked right on the stripe. Graf making a good play there, coming in after the forehand. No hesitancy there, no waiting to see if Martina's in a bad position. She just fired it and came in.
Yeah, she committed herself.
Only the 14th time she's come in, she's won 7 of the points, but that might be the most critical move she's made in the entire match.
So it's 5 games all. And this next announcement is only for felons and crooks. If you're neither one, don't listen. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions, incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, you naughties, descriptions and accounts of this event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the express written consent, that's in American writing, of Madison Square Garden Productions, is prohibited. Don't do it. Don't wind up in Sing Sing. 5 games all, and Steffi has the first point.
She controlled that ball so well. The volley was getting behind her, and she just drove it flat down the line. Not hard, but with tremendous control.
Well, what she does on that is instead of taking a big swing, she takes a short swing, she takes it on the rise, and then just kind of pops it down the line.
And that was Steffi's 40th winner in the match. She's only made 16 unforced errors against that. Martina with 16 winners as opposed to 7 unforced errors.
And Martina pulled up a little after that shot. Now Martina makes the backhand here, and Steffi hits the volley. Now she runs, and she sort of stops and runs a little bit carefully there.
Love 30. Net cord. It skips over Martina's right shoulder, and there are 3 break points.
Steffi Graf with the little slice backhand. Look, Martina gets low for that, but then, besides the powerful forehand, she gets the lucky net cord.
Maybe not luck, the way she hits that ball. Suki Greer calls fault.
Second serve. Graf is already down in her crouch while Martina's walking back to the line.
And that was a buggy whip. And the break. And so, Graf will be serving for a 2-set lead. Graf, grinding, grating, has taken the lead 6-5. It's best of 5. Martina's hopes would lie in a tiebreaker if she can break. She's broken serve once. Second game of this set. Graf has broken 3 times. Ace! 4 for Graf.
Nice pressure by Martina.
Well, she has a chance. You may have heard Martina saying, "That's stupid." No more so than poking your head in a cannon.
Well, why she's saying that's so bad is because she waited all that time. She waited for the ball bounce. She thought maybe it was going out, and instead, Graf gets the second chance and passes her.
Hesitation.
Plus, Martina chose to come in on her forehand, which I think was a mistake.
30 all. She got it and has a break point.
Martina being forced around the court, but this forehand sets it up. Graf comes in. Approach is a little short, but Navratilova, who is not really noted for her topspin backhand, hits a good one.
And the crowd's in it. Second serve, only the second break point Martina's had. Set point. Martina read it.
She was there, but Graf's backhand is so penetrating and diving after it gets over the net. It is tough to make that play.
It's a biting slice backhand, always using it offensively.
Here's a point for a 2-set lead. Ace, the way that ended. 5th ace, a 2-set lead. Don't go away. This is an unusual women's match. It's best of 5. Oh, Steve Flink is 2/3 of the way home on his forecast. 6-4, 7-5. Now I'll tell you, if it gets to be 5-3 and Martina has a game point, Steve's going to run down on the court and tackle her. Watch him, Joanne. Don't let him loose.
I got a seatbelt fastened over here.
Third set beginning.
15-1.
Martina is really holding her position nicely. She comes in, makes the good half volley, but she waits until the last second to commit herself for the volley.
Ace! And so she has 7. First game of the third set. Let's see what Bruce Beck has for us.
With me is Ella Mussolino-Alber, the tournament director for the Virginia Slims Championships. Ella, once again this year, did you break records?
We think we're going to break a record, Bruce. To tell you the truth, I just called the box office, and believe it or not, they're still selling a few tickets, so I won't know that for sure.
What is it about this tournament that's special?
I think the fact that it's the biggest women's event in the world. It's not only the biggest in terms of prize money, but we have more fans come to this event than any other women's event. The bigness of it in terms of the personalities who are here, the celebrities who come. I mean, it's the place to be. It's become a social event now, too.
What about the young faces this year? Did that add something extra?
Oh, it was great. I mean, Monica Seles, she's a human cannonball practically, and she'll be back many, many times to the championships. And Arantxa Sanchez is a real sweetheart. So I think particularly those two we're going to see back here, and fans will love.
Have you ever had a tournament which went according to script the way this one did, with all the seeds advancing all the way?
I can't remember one, Bruce, but this one seems to have worked out perfectly. We're very happy about it.
Congratulations on another terrific tournament.
Thank you, Bruce.
Ella Mussolino-Alber, tournament director, Virginia Slims Championships. Let's go back upstairs.
Thanks, Bruce. She's a demon promoter, but I hope if they actually are selling tickets right now, they're at a 2/3 reduction.
Never. Steffi, a little indecisive there, lets that ball drop in front of her.
Martina has won the first 6 points of the third set, just like that. Serves a love game, gets to love 30 on Steffi's serve.
She's pretty hot after that last service game. She really rolled into this game.
15-1.
Miss America, Christine Marie Everett Lloyd, with her husband, Andy Mill, says she's going to become a housewife. Kind of. Did I say Everett Lloyd? That's a husband ago, excuse me. Christine Marie Everett. Now Mrs. Andy Mill.
I don't know about that housewife stuff, bud.
Well, you see her washing the dishes, Joanne?
No.
So, from losing the first 6 points of the third set, Graf won the next 4. It's 1-all.
Hey, listen, I gave her my sister's card. She's a caterer. I don't think Chris is going to be cooking any dinners either.
Vacuuming?
No.
Martina vacuums, you know. She finds it great therapy. I never did.
Me neither. She's going to need a lot of vacuuming after thinking about that game. She's love 30 up on Steffi's serve and then proceeds to lose 4 points.
She may feel Hooverized herself by the time this is over.
8+ singles titles per year during her career. That is amazing. Martina Navratilova. Steffi's saying, I had that in my sights. I mean, she took a long time lining that up.
To 1 for Navratilova. We've begun the third set.
Net for a winner.
Martina has lobbed so well and counterattacked better than expected. Steffi has won only 9 of 21 points in which she's approached the net. That surprises me. I expected her to be more in the 65 to 70% range.
Nope.
Oh. Martina took her eye off the ball. She saw Steffi hustling in there to the net.
Also, Steffi didn't hit the volley solidly.
No, not at all.
So Martina saw this big opening suddenly.
She said, that ball is as big as a basketball. And I missed it.
Nope. 2 games all.
There it is. Now Steffi 10 for 22. Below 50%. Martina, more importantly, only 50%. She's not been able to get it beyond that range. 39 for 78 because of Graf's great backhand returns and beautiful running forehand passes down the line.
Two games all, but Steffi Graf, the receiver, has 2 sets.
On the line.
It sure was, Joanne. Perfectly guided down that sideline. right on the line.
Wasn't a great volley or anything, but the topspin lob didn't permit her to do anything. So really, she just kind of volleyed it back,
Didn't
and
do
there
anything
she
but
is.
put it on the line.
Right. Well, I think it was kind of lucky, actually. Sometimes you hit a great shot, and it is pure luck, and the audience thinks, wow, what a player. And you're thinking to yourself, I am so lucky.
And speaking of luck, I think Martina was fortunate there. Steffi was lined up for that forehand inside out return, caught the tape.
You're going to have to get a new net after this match.
I hope they get a 1990 model.
Well, at least they got to get a new net strap. Or the strap that goes across the top of the net. Steffi's wearing it out. Another ball. Steffi was right on. She nailed it into the net cord there.
Four straight first serves missed by Martina.
Well, she hasn't had a double fault for a while. That's number 4.
Graf has no double faults.
Great tribute to her because she knows Martina's always going to pressure her on the second serve.
Yeah, and she hits some big second serve. She just doesn't poop it over. Yes, way to close into the net.
So Martina hangs on to serve. 3 games to 2, and we will step away for a moment. Steve Flink had his keys to this match. Well, she didn't win the first set. Slice serve has not been that consistent.
First volley's been good.
Good.
I think she's been
Even
good
with an
part.
E.
Right.
Steffi had to return low. She's certainly done enough of that.
It's lobbed well, although Martina's covered them well. And she has tried to attack Martina's backhand, but not that successfully.
Ace. 6.
Graf's making a couple of unforced errors here that they look really loose for Graf.
Well, most players with a 2-set lead usually have a little bit of a letdown. And she doesn't stay down very long.
No.
Ace number 7.
Woo! There you go. She said, oh, get it back, get it back. Graf 7, Navratilova 7, even in the aces department.
There's an unreturnable serve hit with great speed and a wonderful slice to give it the extra bite.
Pretty wild and crazy, that backhand.
Yes, Joanne.
Just totally wailed it.
She's losing a little of her edge off that backhand, which was completely under control during the first 2 sets. Counterattacked so well both sets.
And a break point. Well, they're whooping it up for Martina. They like her, and they also want to see a fourth set.
This probably gets Steffi fired up. She really doesn't like it when people, you know, boo or catcall or...
Sensitive, isn't she?
She's very sensitive. She remembers everything.
And Martina has the first break in the third set. And a 4-2 lead.
Martina attacking the net, makes a great volley here, and Graf was there, but it's out.
And just as when Martina broke in the last set, it was another game where Steffi had the lead. Steffi had a 40-15 lead when she lost her serve last set. This time, 40-30.
4-2 for Martina. Can she capitalize?
Well, she served very well, Martina has this set. She held once at love, once at 15, and the last time at 30. Only lost 3 points in the 3 service games.
Ouch. That's out. Woo! Over cute. Clearly out. I think she knew it as soon as she struck.
Yeah, she did. You know, that's a tougher ball than you think to handle all that top spin. It's diving down. It was supposed to be a lob, and now it's a drop shot.
The chipped lob works again.
But Martina responds with the perfect bounce smash. Steffi hit such a good high defensive lob, Joanne, but Martina right on the mark with the smash.
Yeah, great overhead, because from the baseline, it's pretty tough to hit a winner.
15 all.
Martina keeping the pressure on Steffi's backhand, and it's starting to pay the dividends.
Oh, gets a nice bounce.
But she hit the ball so low, though. A flat forehand cross court.
Eight for Martina.
Oh, volley.
A very firm volley under pressure, and Martina leads 5-2. Point in the previous game.
Martina comes in and handles the pace of Graf's forehand and makes the volley down the line.
Well, the fires are beginning to burn in this crowd of over 17,000. This is what Steve Flink said would happen. Well, it can't happen quite like that, although Graf does have the first 2 sets as he predicted. Exactly. Now it's set game against Graf at 2-5.
That shot has been absolutely devastating for Martina today. Time and again, she's hitting that chip lob down the line. This time, when Steffi had covered the drop, went behind Martina. Look at the lob down the line just inside the baseline.
Whoa.
Love 15. Martina 3 points from a set. Ace. 8.
What Martina's doing is she's handling that wide backhand pretty well on the return to serve. Martina handled that one well and put the pressure right back on Graf and on her backhand. Graf's backhand is sort of cracked a little bit.
2 points from set at 15-30.
Way out of the court.
And what a series of forehands. Martina did so well just to stay in that point.
Just an excellent point. Set point. So Martina, who has owned this building in the past, is beginning to tidy up her living room.
And Steffi Graf goes for the second serve. It's deep and double fault.
So, 2-1 is Graf's lead. Martina leads off in the 4th.
And she is psyched.
1 minute and 1 hour and 50 minutes played.
Just out. But just think, the toss of a coin. Martina Navratilova chose to serve. She has started serving in each of these sets, and she is on a roll.
Is that poppy seed or onion?
Another. How many times have we seen Steffi thread the smallest eye of a needle? So little room to pass down the line, but she's made it to perfection.
And here she is. She sets it up with a nice slice back, and Martina has to half volley. But look, she hits it on the line, and Graf runs over there and passes her.
30 right away to start the fourth.
Martina's trying to take her time in between points. Don't let Graf rush her.
Great point.
But Martina had it because she'd set this up from other points before it. 2 times before, she lobbed over Steffi's head when she'd come in. Another time, she'd gone down the line, so she had really set this up well.
Of course, the lob has worked so well throughout that percentages are not quite as good when you go for a big cross court like that.
So Steffi Graf has regained the lead, 1-0 in the fourth set. Relinquished her hold, lost the third set, but came storming back to break in the fourth set's opening game. Virginia Slims began playing best-of-5 set finals in 1984. None has gone to a fifth set.
But 2 have gone to 4, Bud, and,
right.
And Martina and Steffi have both been involved.
Martina beat Hanna Mandlikova in 4 in 1986. Steffi beat Gabriela Sabatini in 4 2 years ago.
Steffi's just trying to muscle it a little bit too much. Because you never know, she may be a little tired because before this tournament she sprained her ankle and didn't practice at all for 5 days. Although there's a big difference between being 20 and 33 sitting out 5 days.
It's wide.
And Steffi doesn't waste any time. She just gets over there, ready to serve, cranks it out. You know, Steffi Graf, for as many winners as she hits, she is not the type of player that stands and watches her shot. That ball, the audience going, ooh, ooh, Martina's getting it. Steffi was right at the net, still bouncing at her toes, waiting for the next ball to come back. She was there.
Not much disparity in points. The call was out at the baseline. The Graf shot was long. Excuse.
Martina did not think that lob was long, I suspect by the look on her face.
It's deuce. Graf leads 2-1 and 1-love in the fourth.
On this side, Graf has consistently been going to Martina's backhand.
Double fault, her second.
Graf didn't like that call.
And a break point.
Move by Steffi. Take that short ball off the forehand and come in on Martina's forehand for a change.
Actually, I think Steffi should try going down the middle once here. She is, every serve has been wide to that backhand, and Martina's now handling that serve, you know, pretty easily.
Too short on the lob this time.
Oh, Martina had a shot there.
Dangerous to play that smash angled out to Martina's forehand like that, because she gave her play to drive, as we see Peter Graf, Steffi's father.
Pretty stoic, sitting in, but I know his stomach must be roiling. Yes.
Martina makes it so hard for you to close out your service game, because every time you're at an ad, if you don't get the first serve in, she's maneuvering to hit that forehand return. She's all over the net. And back to deuce.
Actually, on Steffi's backhand, which we said earlier was breaking down a little bit, she's hitting it a little higher when she passes.
Whoa.
Whoa, what a forehand.
You think of Steffi generating that pace primarily on the inside out forehand, but she can do it just as well on the cross court as she showed there. She's improved that shot a lot.
I know, and everyone's saying, oh no, oh please.
Graf hangs on to her lead despite a break point, 2-0. In her longest serving game, 3 deuces. And we look at Ayazanova, former international figure skater, with the Navratilova crowd. Tall woman in black, Craig Carden, the coach, Billie Jean King, the coach, Judy Nelson, great and good friend. We'd like to also send our sympathy to the family of Merton Thompson in Boston, whose wife, Patricia Sullivan Thompson, died this week. She was one of the early workers in promoting women's tennis in New England. Worked on the first Virginia Slims tournament up there. Her sister Edie Thompson McGoldrick, promoter of the Virginia Slims of New England. And Patricia was a fine player and a wonderful woman. Our condolences.
Oh, nice return by Graf.
Martina had a lot of steam on that serve, but it came back twice as fast, and she just wasn't even prepared for the forehand.
Well, I think Graf has figured out she's still serving over there to her forehand, so now she's changed her strategy a bit on returning.
There's another errant backhand chip return from Steffi, way off the mark. Bottom of the net.
This doesn't happen very often to these women. Steffi's second time into a 4th set in her career. Martina as well. And So Martina has a game, but she's behind the service break 2-1. So Martina Navratilova is hanging in to this match the way she's hanging into her career. She's number 2 now, but she's a competitive, battling number 2. The leading lady is serving.
Steffi forced to scoop that forehand approach shot up off a low ball. Didn't come in on the kind of ball she wanted to.
No, but also she sort of quicked it on the approach. She didn't get it deep enough. Let's just say Steffi Graf is not exactly Yvonne Goulart. You know, Yvonne had that flowing, smooth stroke, and Steffi is really kind of herky-jerky. And so she's not going to get that nice, smooth loft on those low ones. Martina comes in here and she gets a bit lucky, but she goes back to Graf's back. Now look at the timing. It's a jump overhead. Great shot.
3 breakers.
Moving well and keeping herself in the point.
Excellent serve and volley from Graf. Backhand cross-court volley to sharp angle saves another break point.
And I think she really surprised Martina.
So the third in a series of breakers. It's wide, and Martina catches up in the 4th set.
And Martina is winning a much larger share of the points when she comes into the net now. In the first 2 sets, only 46% of the points did she win, but now she's raised it to 60 out of 103 for the match by winning 95% of the points approached in the 3rd set, and this set, 78%.
And the Martina crowd is a little happier. Billie Jean King with a broad grin. Well, Martina, talking about Billie Jean, who came onto the team in May. The love of tennis. That's what Billie Jean tried to emphasize. She said, you've won everything that can be won. Just go out and enjoy it now. Why should you feel pressure? Why should you feel you have to go play every tournament? You're a Hall of Famer already. Just go out and have some fun. And that's essentially how Martina regained her composure and joie de vivre. She was really down.
Oh, nicely struck by Steffi Graf. Graf, all she does here is just block it out in front, not too much backswing, just like a volley.
She doesn't want to go into a 5th set. Net court ball hung, wouldn't go.
But Martina's volleys are, she's playing them with much more authority, much more confidence.
Huge game here for Martina. She's come back from 2 love. She can hold serve, go sit down a few minutes.
That's a big if, but
sure is. Capital I.
There it is, 19 service return winners to 0. But keep in mind that Martina's not going for winners on the return. She's chipping and charging and winning the points that way, while Steffi goes for the big drives.
Net cord, and it's Martina's.
The return was right where Steffi wanted it, low on the Martina's forehand volley. What a great break.
The exact same backhand.
Return of serve winner.
Identical to 2 points ago. Just blocks it out in front. That is picture perfect backhand volley. Except she played it as a return.
And a break point.
And there's that free swinging topspin again that Steffi was making the first set and a half. Plenty of net clearance and tremendous dipping top.
And she had the volley set up. Graf is ahead again. 3-2. The Virginia Slims Tennis Championships are brought to you in part by New York Telephone, part of the 9X Company. And you're going to love what your Tri-State Toyota dealer is doing for you. Once again, Steffi Graf has a winning lead. Can she hold it? What a scene. The new leading lady battling the woman who refuses to step away even though she's not number one. Martina slipped. However,
Graf is trying to come to net, but Martina's really, playing her well at the net, either lobbing overhead or dinking down at her feet.
Or rifling the ball low to the forehand volley like she did there.
But when you have a setup like that, go for it.
fourth set. 3 breaks of serve in the 5 games played. Territory explored by each player only once before at 4th set.
Yes.
Steffi made the perfect pass there, but this is the 3rd straight time in this set that she's gone down love 30 on her serve. Martina is playing those opening points so well, putting Steffi in a bind and making her try to climb out of it.
And usually you don't think much about it when you're, when you're watching Steffi Graf play, but we're in the 4th set. Everything is big. Yes. And what I mean by big is each big point, big moment, big game. So the pressure's on.
And she's come up with 2 wonderful backhands under pressure there. First the outright pass, that one driven low to force the error on the volley.
A break point.
just wide.
Steffi always seems to have a cold when she comes here. She's coming over there to get a Kleenex. Maybe she's allergic to New York.
Wouldn't be hard to be allergic to New York. As long as we can get a cab driver like we had last night, making those right-hand turns from far left, that'll be wonderful. And another break point.
Martina is totally confident at the net now. When she has a ball, a second volley, she just moves right in, and she seems to know where it's going.
Perfect low chip from Graf. Martina had the net covered, had the angle covered, but Steffi got it low enough to force that error.
Second deuce. As Martina has come back once in this set. And has twice been within a point of getting even a second time. That's long. And the Steffi chant begins from Germans who've come over here for this match. And probably joined in by many of our American fans as well. Graf resists.
That was really toughing it out for Steffi Graf. It wasn't easy. Every point was a battle. And Navratilova had 2 break points.
I think psychologically it was a pivotal game, Joanne, because if she let a break get away for the second time in this set, her nerves would surely have been tried.
Well, I don't know. You know, she seems pretty nerveless. She says, I go for everything. It doesn't matter what point it is.
2-4. Fourth set.
Oh, Martina had it on her racket.
But the forehand volley has definitely been faltering in this set. She let one go astray on break point earlier. This is another. There's no doubt she doesn't have as much confidence in that volley as she did earlier.
Oh, what a get by Graf.
Get cord on the smash. Out. It is long.
Graf chagrined that she actually overhit that ball. She thought she had the .1 when it left her racket.
Well, Joe Bierman called it promptly. He won the U.S. Tennis Association McGovern Award today for long service as an umpire and linesman. Prize among the officials, the McGovern Award. That's on the baseline. So, no, that's called out. A bit of a delay on the call by Diane Petrosino, and you hear the response.
And Steffi makes the great lob over Martina this time, and she comes charging in. Now Martina's lob goes up high, it's deep, and it's pretty close to the line.
think any alert linesman would have a very difficult time missing that call. It's a lot of time to watch the ball drop.
Diane is right on the line, and I'm certainly not going to argue with her call. 15-30. Martina must get out of this game if she's to continue. And a knockdown. Time after time, that short punched backhand return like a left jab.
So true, but it's been there for her throughout the match.
And Martina comes over, and she loses her balance. But watch this. She does a roll. She comes up. She is so coordinated.
Well, Joanne, the thing about that backhand return, though, I think that most players can play that ball low, but they can't drag it over to the sideline as well as Steffi does. So Martina's stretched low and wide.
Right, and the thing is, see, Steffi's hitting that left-handed serve, which is going away from her, and she still gets it down there.
So Steffi not only got a break point, she got a knockdown. That's long.
Martina was in a desperate position there. She played her first volley and had to retreat, and she could only hope that Steffi's forehand went long there, which it did.
It's deuce. Tightrope walking now, Martina. Down 2-4, down 2-1. And deuce. And another break point.
What a great approach from Steffi Graf on that cross-court back in, just inside the sideline. Martina didn't even have a play here.
I think it hit the line the way it skidded.
And Graf really leans her shoulder into that ball and skids off the line.
You're right, but it did hit that sideline. It was just a wonderful shot.
Well, you could tell because of that little skid part when it hits the lines. They're greased lightning. It's a different type of material. The lines are painted on Supreme Court.
Break point. And Martina down to her second ball.
And Graf's got her forehand grip here, ready to run around it.
Which she did. The lob is wide. And so Steffi Graf will serve for the championship in this magnificent final when we return. It has been splendor on a blue carpet. The 20-year-old from Brühl, West Germany, who rules the world, had not made a believer of the woman whom she supplanted, Martina Navratilova, who clawed back time and again. But this is match game. However,
but Steffi's trying to tie this rivalry up at 7 matches apiece. She had been down 7-3. This would be a 4th straight win over Martina, including a 3rd this year. She already beat her in the Wimbledon and U.S. Open finals.
In their longest match in point sets. Ace! She hasn't had one for a while. That's number 9. So Steffi leads the ace race, 9-8.
But I don't care what happens this match, but Martina cannot go away from this match, win or lose, with a bad feeling, because this is the best I've seen her play against Steffi, and she's run well, she's covered things, she's been confident.
That's wide, and a break point. No, Martina finished the last 2 seasons here on a sour note. This is not a sour note.
No, absolutely not.
And it ain't over. The lob is good. That is long.
Martina took the big swing at the approach forehand volley there. She couldn't resist it with the ball hanging in the air like that.
I think she couldn't make up her mind what to do with that. The point was hers. Anything she did, she could have tapped it.
I don't know about tapping it on the big point, but...
Well, but the court was wide open. It's still break point. Well, that's her ball. She had to play.
She was there and she knew it. This is a much more confident Martina Navratilova.
Billie Jean King absolutely has helped her.
Billie Jean King looked pretty happy there.
Safe.
Oh, yes. Steffi Graf said, there is no point in a match where I am fearful. I am not afraid to win or lose. And she showed it on that point. That ball hit the outside edge of the line going about 95.
Whoops. And that's the first winning return of Martina, I believe.
Yes, but Steffi tried the surprise serve and volley on her, but it was a very accurate return.
Fourth break point of the game. Third deuce.
Martina's mad at herself. She let that one slip away. You know, when you get that break point, you've got to make Steffi make a winner or an error. Like, let her do it. Don't you do it.
And here is match point.
She peppered away at Martina's forehand side at that point. When she sees an opening, she keeps going for it. She'll exploit your weak area to the hilt.
They've just passed the 2.5-hour mark. First serve to be repeated.
Martina is still playing in the middle, wanting that forehand.
And it's back to deuce. One match point. Blotted. Fourth deuce. What a wonderful display for women's tennis, this wind-up of the 80s. And break point again. Fifth break point of the game as the 7-time champion. Strange to keep it going.
The slice back in from Martina, which she measured so carefully, floats long on the cross court.
Fifth deuce.
Usually Martina's slice backhand is so reliable.
It flew there. And this is the longest game Steffi has had to serve. That's going to fly, and again match point a second time.
Very tough to come in on that kind of a ball when Graf slices the ball inches over the net, grazing the net cord.
Ball. Shuki Greer quickly on the call.
And great playing at the net by Navratilova. Taking a chance there, coming to net, and going to the open court for the winner.
Half dozen deuces. It's still going. Could have been over if Graf had grabbed one of her 2 match points. Service winner and a 3rd match point.
And I would think she's about ready to try and go for that ace out wide to Martina's forehand. Just gamble on the first serve. She's been playing it at about 90% speed, maximum speed.
You guessed it, Steve, but the call is fault. It's all over. Number 1, and she proves it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated for the closing ceremony.
With the coach, Pavel Slozil,
Please remain seated for the
after hugging Papa. A trial of 2 hours and 34 minutes. And it belongs to Graf. And this woman, you can see why she was number 1 for so long. In 4 sets, 6-2 in the 4th. A wonderful battle. Worthy battle. And the final one of the 1980s when Martina was dominant until Steffi came along. And isn't she magnificent, Steffi Graf?
David Award to Martina Navratilova. Martina, you played an outstanding tournament, winning the doubles championships yesterday and giving us a great afternoon of tennis today. You made some incredible drop volleys. On behalf of General Foods International Coffees, I would like to present this check to you for $60,000. Congratulations.
I think that'll just about cover the hotel bill for the week. No, I'm just kidding. I was hoping to speak second, but anyway, first I have to say well done to Steffi. She played a very, very good match, and she's obviously, that's an understatement, a very good tennis player, so congratulations. Like I said earlier at the Open, I'll keep coming back, so I guess I'll have to wait till next year, but 30-something ain't that bad, you know. I feel that I'm still learning to play the game thanks to my coaches, Craig Carden and Billie Jean King. They have been over there. They have been so supportive of me. They've really given themselves to me so much. And Billie Jean has showed me once again how to love the game. And I lost the match, but I really truly enjoyed myself. And I'm just thrilled that I'm having a good time even though I lose. So hopefully, imagine what's going to happen when I win. You know, people tend to forget that this is, after all, a game. But then when you leave your heart and soul out there, it becomes a little more than that. And as long as I am willing to do that, I'll keep coming back for more. Anyway. That's enough about myself. I would like to thank Virginia Slims for their wonderful support of women's tennis, General Foods, Kraft for being the sponsor next year, Bill and Ella for putting all you up here. Yesterday was our first sellout ever, and I'd like to thank you guys for supporting women's tennis. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank the linesmen and lineswomen. They did a great job, and same goes for the ball boys and the ball girls. And also, thank you, my friends. Judy, thanks for your support. Hopefully we'll be through some thick as opposed to thin. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Martina. And now, on behalf of Virginia Slims, I would like to present the 3 Grand Slam winner in 1988 and the Virginia Slims champion, Steffi Graf. Steffi, on behalf of Virginia Slims, I am proud to present you with your winner's check of $125,000. I would also like to present you with our Virginia Slims trophy.
Well, I think first to say it's very hard to top the speech of Martina. It was unbelievably good. I'm very happy today to be here in the finals and somehow won it. I mean, I think it was special to me because I didn't thought I was going to play the tournament, and it's again here in New York, and again it was the finals against Martina, and what can I say? I'm sorry about it.
Don't make me sorry, enjoy it.
I had a great time again here, and I want to thank all the sponsors, Virginia Slims and General Foods, as well as I want to thank especially to my father and my coach, Pavel Slosil, and to Uwe Kapellmann, who treated me so unbelievable. I mean, without him I couldn't have played. And all of the staff, that's the linesmen, the ball girls and ball boys, and also Al. I didn't forget you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. We look forward to seeing you next year at the 1990 Virginia Slims Championship. And have a safe trip home.
Ladies and gentlemen, we wish you all a very happy week of Thanksgiving. Thank you for coming.